On the woman's face, I can see a man with a strange kind of hat and holding something on his head. And on the if you see on the uh, right side, the old man, I can see consciously. If you look, there is a man who is playing guitar and with a hat and some kind of sculpture also near the ear. I can see.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for very detailed interpretation of the picture. I could already see lot of responses on the chat box and very, very beautiful interpretations by all of you, youthfulness and reminiscing their youth world, old man and lady, and two singers on the door lady enjoying music. Youth is very enjoyable and we have energy. In old time we just remember those fond moments. Okay, a glass of bottle as the woman's earring, absolutely. Remembering their old times, yeah. Happiness, okay. Remembering their youth, togetherness, support, passage of time, happiness, memory. Beautiful, beautiful.
Ma'am, may I answer?
Harshad, if it's fine because we don't have a lot of time. I'm sorry, so we have to proceed. And in case if you can write your response in the chat box. I'm sorry for not taking up your response at the moment. Love. Face of a man and a woman. Old couple remembering, support, love. Yeah, memories, illusion, euphoria. Wow. To grow old together, Antara. Home is where the heart is, Ishita. Thank you so much. Thank you. Togetherness and affection, Garvit. Remembering happy moments, Prath says internal verses. Okay. Harshit said it's a beautiful transition between youth and old age. Thank you, Harshit. Peace, wow. Thank you so much for saying peace. Music connects souls. Absolutely. Harmony, joy, visualizing their youthful days, contentment. Wow. How thought-provoking. Serene and tranquility. Okay. Hold on now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now tell me, what is the purpose? Why are we doing this? Why do you think I made you look into two ambiguous pictures and I'm asking you what do you
May I?
Yes, Arsha.
I'm to show that everyone's human brain works differently because everyone answered, and I'm sure that there were many different responses, and there were only one or two those were same, which proves that everyone's brain works differently.
Absolutely, Arshia. Thank you so much for saying that. And that is precisely, and I could already see people answering perception, people answering uniqueness. Everybody has different perception or cognitive understanding of the world. Beautiful. I think I'm already in a group of people who are very well versed with psychology as a discipline. That's really impressive. So that you can understand your audience, okay? Varying perspective, nostalgia. Dhruv, please type it. Different point of view, absolutely. That's the reason why we did this activity. So basically, if in case say we have over more than 500, 550 students in this particular meeting today, and I gave you two different pictures. And what if I ask all of you, all 500, 550 students, to write a story? What do you see when you look at these pictures? And just write your story, write a story out of it. Will I be able to get even a single story which will exactly be identical to each other? I don't think so. So just look into the beautiful and how unique we are, how nature believes in diversity. And there are more than 500, 600 different interpretations that we are getting for the same picture. The picture is same. We could see the same picture in our eyes, but we are interpreting it in so many different ways. Some of you could see support. Some of you could see disappointment. Some of you could see love. Some of you could see music. Some of you could see resentment, old memories, youthfulness, so many beautiful. I mean, I am really impressed with such creative imagination that you all have with respect to these pictures, and that actually shows that also talks a lot about our own individual personalities, isn't it? So this reminds me of a famous quote that which says that we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. So these pictures that we have seen, that actually tells a lot about you as a person, and that actually talks. And why do you think we have different perceptions? What do you think? What are the reasons why 500 550 different students in this particular session today have different perception for the same picture? Why? Different experiences, very good. Individualism, very good. Acquired traits, everybody's mind works differently. Excellent. Different thinking, different social customs, beautiful, Prisha. Yeah, childhood, yeah, different childhood, different culture, we think differently, nature versus nurture, bang on, Pooja. Different beliefs, different environments, values, personality, childhood, individual environment, unique personalities. I think you have answered all the questions. All or everything that has been included is a part of today's discussion. Yeah, perspective. Yes, introspection. Absolutely. This brings me to the slide. And I think you all have answered, and I think probably this list could be added. What I have jotted down, it could be added with your responses. Way of thinking, each person sees differently and interpret in a different way. I just wanted to know and just think about this. Just imagine that there are twins. Okay, brother, sister, brothers, sisters. Okay, so one twins are there in a family, raised in the same household, gone to exactly same school. They were also, they also uh, have similar kind of friends, etc. But still, both of them are absolutely two different personalities. It happens? Yes or no? Yes. So this actually talks a lot about that when we are looking at a particular situation or a circumstance, we all have a different way of interpreting it. We all have a different way of viewing it. We all are in a pandemic at the moment, isn't it? And we all are dealing with this pandemic in a very different way. Some of us, we are probably not getting that impacted mentally. Some of us, we are getting really impacted by it. Some of us are coping. Some of us are doing something which is, we are getting time to spend with ourselves, with our families. Some of us, we have identified some probably hobby or some kind of new creative way of expressing ourselves. Some of us, we have started in, new ventures on Instagram, and I could see so many youth like you who have started uh, brilliant initiatives on Instagram, trying to create awareness, talking about mental health, talking about body shaming. And it is really impressive how we are also taking up on social media and trying to express ourselves. Some of us have taken up painting, some of us have taken up music, some of us are really depressed. Some of us, we don't know how to really cope up with it. Some of us are truly scared. But we all are in the same situation, which is pandemic. but our ways of dealing with it is different because we all have different circumstances. We all have different personal lives in which we are in right now. We have a different past experiences as well. So whenever we are faced with a particular situation, we have a different way of dealing with it because we have a past experience which tell us that you did this in the past and it didn't work out. Why don't you do something else this time? This is like the story where a father has two sons. The father wasn't the best person. He got in trouble a lot. One son grew to be a nice and rounded human who stays on the straight and narrow because he didn't want to be like his father. Other was exactly, absolutely, Abigail. Thank you so much for sharing that. In fact, this is something which even I read this thing somewhere in one of the book which suggested that we see our parents and sometimes we are a part of, where we don't really uh, say resonate with our parents, or we don't identify with them, or we feel that, oh my god, am I really there? uh, are they really my parents? Am I adopted? Those kind of thoughts pour into us, and then we start questioning our own existence. But some of us, we are able to deal with our familial situations and then still come out and shine through it. But some of us, we aren't able to. We aren't able to cope up with it because sometimes we don't have a proper social support system. We don't know how to deal with our inner problems, as a result of which, or sometimes we don't have anybody to really, look up to. Thank you. Yeah. Thinking Fast and Slow speaks about the work of the brain reflexes. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lakshita. I would like to actually encourage everybody to read this book of Thinking Fast and Slow. This is a very good book. Those who are interested to do something in psychology, this could be a starting point. So, what is psychology? According to you, what is psychology? Pranay, I will share some books with all of you towards
Ma'am,
the end. Yeah.
ma'am, yes, according to me, psychology is the science where we study human behavior and experiment with the mental process. And the main purpose of psychology is to understand the brain and working of it, and how, from a brain a perspective, from a next perspective, how the world looks like.
Okay, so I could see that you have used the word behavior, you have used the word experience, you have used the word perception, you have used the word, I think, cognition also. So I think you have already covered everything. Please identify yourself. I didn't know who was the one who was saying it.
Aniket Tiwari.
Aniket, thank you. Psychology is a scientific understanding of human and animal behavior, understanding varying underlying cognitive processes. Great. You know what, why I thought that I will have this particular slide, because there has been a lot of students who come to me and ask that, professor, what is psychology? And some of them, when I teach students from law school and business school, they say, okay professor, tell us what's going in our mind, read our mind. So there is a lot of misconception also about psychology. Like, when suppose I say somebody that I'm a psychologist, okay, so I get this response, oh, you're a psychologist, tell us what is going in our mind. Psychology does, they are not uh, some magicians who can just enter into your mind and tell you what.
Ma'am, mostly psychologists first know the symptoms of the person, that what is person suffering from, and then they tell us that what is happening in their mind.
Yes, okay, thank you, Aniket. Aniket, I will take the individual responses towards the end, okay? So please don't interrupt in between, because it is causing, I'm sorry, I'm saying this, but because we don't have a lot of time and I have to cover a lot. So just write on the chat box if you have to say something. Okay. So when we talk about psychology, psychology is basically, it's a scientific understanding, as many of you have written. Psychology is a science that studies behavior, human behavior as well as animal behavior, experiences and mental processes. So when I say behavior, what do you think is behavior? Nature, reactions, absolutely. Behavior is right now, I'm talking to you and I say, Aniket, please don't interrupt me in between. Right? So Aniket might not like it. Right? So he might not like the way I responded. He might not like the way that I said that, please, Aniket, let me just take up your questions towards the end. So it is something that is seen in my, it's basically something which is seen overtly. Okay? What is going on inside me is not my behavior. Behavior is how I respond to a particular situation. So there is a particular situation and there is a response. That is a behavior. Okay. So I was asked that, okay, Garima, you have to take this summer engagement program with the students. And I said, okay. And I was, when time actually came and when I was really about to address you, I was actually looking out and I was, taking care of my son at that time. And he was really cranky. But I really didn't want to come and address you. But I have to because I'm obligated to do it. So internally, I am not feeling up for it. But can you really make it out when in my behavior? No. So behavior is how we respond to a particular situation, but sometimes we don't behave how we feel. And that is why psychology is a science that studies behavior, experiences, and mental processes. It is your mental processes. And what is mental process? Your feelings, your emotions, your cognition, thinking, logic, creativity, everything that goes inside us is your mental process. So when I am saying that wonderful, wow, what a beautiful set of students, but मेरे को लग रहा है, oh God, I have to take care of my son. Inside of me, I am just thinking about my son at the moment. So that is a part of my mental process, which is not getting depicted at all in my behavior. When I entered and when I started addressing all of you, there must be a lot of perception that you must have formed about me. But you are not writing it on the chat box. So there is something that goes inside us. We are so judgmental, isn't it? We are so judgmental. We just make judgments and we have a lot of opinions to give about others. Because human beings, they are here to survive. We have to have judgments. That is very natural to human beings. So psychology, basically, it's a science that studies what happens outside, but also what happens inside. But most important thing, which I always tell my students, that psychology is actually not understanding others. Psychology is mostly understanding yourself. It is about our own self. And once we understand ourselves, we are able to take better decisions. We are able to take better, uh, we are able to live a more fulfilled lives. I will put it like that. Can I ask you something now? What do you think is yourself? How do you think what constitutes yourself? What constitutes Harshit's self? What constitutes Aniket's self? What constitutes Varun? What Shivali, Shailendra, Kulamar? So what do you think are yourself? Characteristics, talents, personality, interests, thoughts, image, opinion, okay? Nurturing, values. Okay, shoo. What I'm saying is, Just take a pause of 1 minute. Just take a pause. Take a pause, all of you, of 20 seconds. Close your eyes. What comes to your mind when you, for example, what comes to your mind when I think Garima? Okay, who am I? Who am I? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? How do you define yourself? Don't tell that how I will define myself. Tell how you will define yourself. I just gave you this example. Hardworking, female teacher, happy-go-lucky. Okay. Wow, girl who is very successful, singer and entrepreneur. Thank you, Pratha. Jolly, creative, empathetic, trustworthy, innocent, bubbly, smart, special person, intelligent person, talented, passionate, baker, gorgeous, diverse, goofy, superb, caring. Thank you. Thank you. Talkative, psychologist. All right. So when we think about self, it constitutes so many things. It constitutes definitely how you have beautifully portrayed so many personality traits. It constitutes what is my strength and weakness, what are my aspirations, my interest, my ambition. Sometimes our self is also related to, we also identify a lot with what kind of religion we belong to. We also sometimes resonate a lot, what is my gender identity? Somebody said gender stereotypes in the beginning. What is the motives behind my existence? So all of that constitutes yourself. And sometimes, have you ever wondered that there could be a discrepancy between what I want to be and what I am? I'm repeating myself. Do you think that there could ever be a discrepancy, a gap between what I want to be and what I am? Yes, it happens, isn't it? And I think it happens with all of us. And when this gap between what I want to be and what I am, this gap is larger, higher, I will be dissonant and probably I will be more unhappy. The smaller the gap, better it is for us to lead a more fulfilled and a balanced life. But sometimes we don't understand that the person that I want to be is so unrealistic for us to achieve. And we end up living a miserable life all throughout our lives. Kriti, it happens. Kriti, it happens with me also a lot. So it happens with all of us. We all have so much expectations from ourselves, and as a result, हम अपने ऊपर इतना harsh हो जाते हैं. We are so harsh on ourselves. And then we set unrealistic expectations on ourselves कि आज मुझे ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है. And at the end of the day, we are just lost. We see कि हमने आज कुछ भी नहीं किया, पूरा दिन कुछ नहीं किया, because all the time we are just anxious कि हमें कितना कुछ achieve करना. Societal expectation, absolutely, Pratha. So many times we have an expectation towards ourselves, the way we look also. कि मुझे ऐसा लगना है, मुझे इतना, I have to look like this particular. Media, it has such a great influence on the body types. And then there is so much societal pressure. Parents बोल रहे हैं पतला हो जाओ, fair skin is a good skin, etc. And that causes so much body image issues. As a result of which, larger the gap between who you are and what you want to be. Procrastination, somebody said, absolutely bang on. Because of that gap, we start procrastinating. What is the meaning of procrastinating? Absolutely. Delaying tasks. Sometimes we put a lot on our plate, as a result of which we don't know how to really handle with so many responsibilities. So psychology helps us to understand that sometimes what the ideal self, what I want to be, is sometimes so unrealistic that we need to change that. We need to revise that. We need to go again and think and ponder and see that probably I can't be a cricketer, but I can be very good in maths. So I need to work there instead of just following that blind dream of being a cricketer because it's not working anymore. So sometimes we have to revise our ideal self. Sometimes we also have to revise our real self. Sometimes we don't even know what are we worth of. हम अपने आप को ही underestimate करते हैं. And we don't even understand our own worth, and we feel that, oh my God, I want to achieve so much and I'm so little. But actually, you're so special. You are so amazing. You have so much capacity to do, and you have already achieved a lot, but never celebrated it. You never ever celebrated what you have achieved, but rather always eyeing for what you have not achieved and sulking and getting anxious all the time because of that. So psychology has a theory which is being given by Carl Rogers on the concept of self, which says that there is sometimes a gap between real self and ideal self. And we need to understand, we need to identify our strength and weakness, we need to have realistic expectations of the goal, set realistic and achievable targets for the day, make a timetable, take time off from your routine. Also, do something different, do something unique. Don't be too hard on yourself, and seek help from your mentors, parents, and professionals. Don't hesitate in seeking help. If you need help, go and say, we need help. I look in the mirror and talk to my mind to guide myself back. Wow. Next that I wanted, okay, can I show you a video? Because I wanted to talk about how our behavior is so much influenced when we are a part of a group. This is a lift experiment that was done. So let me just show you this video. One second. Yes, herd mentality, Shailendra. Thank you. Can you see the screen?
The gentleman in the elevator.
Yes or no? Can you see the
No,
video?
ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Now is a candid star. These folks who are entering, the man with a white shirt, the lady with a trench coat, and subsequently one other member of our staff will face the rear. And you'll see how this man in the trench coat tries to maintain his individuality. But little by little, he looks at his watch, but he's really making an excuse for turning just a little bit more to the wall. Now we'll try it once again. Here's the candid subject. Here comes the candid camera staff, 3 of them at least. And this man has apparently been in groups before. Now, here's a fella with his hat on in the elevator. First, he makes a full turn to the rear, and Charlie closes the door. A moment later, we'll open the door. Everybody's changed positions. group pressure for some good. Now, in a moment, on Charlie's signal, everybody turns forward. Notice they take off their hats. And now, do you think we could reverse the procedure? Watch.
All right. What did you learn from this video? Yeah. This video, when I saw this, this is a real experiment which was done. And we tried to replicate this experiment in our university also. And to our surprise, we found that a lot of students in Jindal campus, they actually, their behavior was so much influenced by, if in case all the students are standing in a particular direction or they are facing the wall. So we saw, so basically what we did as a part of our experiment is that we asked over 5-6 students who were our own students that you have to go inside the lift and you have to face the wall. Okay, and the person who will enter, we want to understand his behavior, and we saw that they eventually also starts turning to the wall. So we are so easily influenced by what others are doing, isn't it? I remember I was talking to my mother, and since the COVID cases have reduced, so she told me that okay, let's go out and let's go on a walk. So I said, okay, yeah, we can wear the double mask and we can at least go downstairs and we can just have a small walk. So my mother said, no need for a double masking now. Abhi cheezein bahut sahi ho gayi hain. You know what I saw? Ye jo niche, our auntie who is there, she said that she was not even wearing the mask. I'm at least wearing one mask. Now, how we all the time just look at others and make a judgment about what is right and what is not, what is wrong, isn't it? We are so influenced. We always take other people's example, and it always happens with parenting also. You all must have seen your parents talking about, अरे उसको देखो, वो उसका बेटा देखो या उसकी बच्ची को देखो, they are also doing this, तो तुम क्यों नहीं कर सकती हो, तुम क्यों पूरे दिन बोलती रहती हो कि तुम बोर हो रही हो, वो भी तो नहीं हो रही है, वो भी तो कुछ कर रही है. So exactly, we all the time just talk about others, and our parents, sometimes our elders, our teachers, they are always giving us examples, and that is so frustrating. Exactly, we don't trust ourselves because of the fact that why second wave came, why it was so brutal, because we didn't take that social distancing norms which we all should have abided when situation was not that bad. We just thought that things are now okay. People, they have started moving out of their houses without mask, as a result of which the second wave was even more brutal. So we just see others and we replicate the same behavior. So this aspect is called group conformity. And there has been a lot of experiments in psychology. I don't have a lot of time to explain this, but it resonates. It resonates that absolutely, Antara, the domino effect. How social media, how we just project ourselves on Instagram and the Facebook, and how our real life is, that sucks. But if somebody looks at my Instagram profile, they will be like, wow, what a life they are enjoying at the time of COVID also. Look at their life. But actually inside there is a lot going on which is not reflected on the social media, because we are living up, because we have to maintain a particular image, the social media image. Yes, even the prison experiment. I think there is a lot of psychology, students I could see in this particular section. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Ma'am, I want to ask something.
Who's this?
Ma'am, Aniket.
Okay, Aniket, please can we have the questions towards the end? Just let me just wind it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So now just tell me, if in case, just say yes or no, if in case you have ever heard even a single sentence amongst the ones that I have written here. Okay, you must opt for science course for a better future. Did she just ignore me? I don't know where does my interest lies. He unfollowed me on Instagram. Will I be able to get admission in college or university I'm eyeing for? Oh, I wasted a lot of time. I could have studied. I don't have any real friends. 11th and 12th grade are the most crucial years. If you will work hard now, you will relax for the rest of your lives. How many of you have even heard any of these statements or thought about it, or, you know, you resonate with some of them? Okay, just 1 second. I don't know. Why am I unable to see the chat now? God. I'm sorry, I could not see the chat box. Why?
I have heard all of these, ma'am.
Okay, but still no problem. Okay, so you know what? How many of you, okay, tell me one thing. What is intelligence? Is this happening? Okay, yeah. Mind. Presence of mind. Okay, comprehend, knowledge in your speech, ability to understand and think, intelligence, intelligent IQ, EQ, strong opinions, smartness, ability to learn. I've heard most of them. Creativity. Okay. You, according to you, Albert Einstein is intelligent? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. According to you, Lata Mangeshkar is intelligent?
Yes, ma'am.
She's intelligent.
Everyone is intelligent. Everyone is designed the same way.
Okay. According to you, Sachin Tendulkar is intelligent?
Yes, ma'am.
But reality is not.
Okay. Some of you, most of you have agreed that Lata Mangeshkar, Sachin Tendulkar, and Albert Einstein all are intelligent. Some of you are saying that there is a difference between being talented and intelligent. Sachin is not intelligent but talented. Lata Mangeshkar is not intelligent but talented. Actually, here I wanted to make a point that whenever we understand intelligence, we always understand it in terms of who is good with, studies, who is good with, quantums, who is good with logic, mathematics, science, engineering, etc. That is the problem, because intelligence is not just restricted to understanding, to studies. For example, when I was in school, for me the most intelligent student of my class was the one who was the topper. But I never ever realized that my friend who was a great singer is equally intelligent than that student of my class. Because for me, intelligence was always equivalent to studies. Actually, intelligence is something. There are so many different kinds of intelligence. There is kinesthetic intelligence, musical intelligence, numerical intelligence, verbal intelligence, logical intelligence. So Lata Mangeshkar is also intelligent. Sachin Tendulkar is also intelligent. Albert Einstein is also intelligent. So, and why I said that, we always talk about IQ, कि मेरा IQ इतना है, and people, some of the students that I have known, they have even gone to got their IQ tested. But the problem with these tests is that they can assess only a particular kind of intelligence. They cannot tell you whether you are good with dance, whether you have a very flexible body and you can do yoga, that you can be an athlete, you can go into Olympics and you can win medals. Intelligence never talk about that, because intelligence is always understood in a very conventional way, but psychology has an answer to that. Psychology, it says that intelligence is something is actually understood as something where a person is able to adapt themselves to any particular circumstance. That person is intelligent when you're able to adapt yourself in any particular circumstance, irrespective of what your IQ is. And there where comes the difference between IQ and EQ. You know what? These days, companies don't hire you for your IQ. These days, companies are hiring you for your EQ. And it is said that IQ determines 20% of your success, whereas EQ determines 80% of your success. With EQ, what I mean is emotional quotient. So this brings me out towards my next slide, which is this. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and manage your own emotions as well as emotions of others. And there are 4 different types of emotional intelligence, 4 different components of different, if I would say components. One is self-awareness. What are you feeling? How did those feelings arise? What are your feelings telling you? I am feeling extremely horrible. Why? I don't know. Today I'm very angry. Your mother came. What happened? I don't know. I'm just very angry. I'm very depressed. Why? I don't know. I'm extremely happy. I want to do something. Why? What happened? I don't know. I'm just happy. Sometimes we just don't know why are we feeling what are we feeling because of lack of self-awareness. Then comes social awareness. What are others feeling? Why is my mother shouting at me for no reason? Have you ever gone and understood and tried to even find it out that why is she feeling like that instead of just cribbing about it? Oh my god, today again she's in a bad mood. But why? What is the reason behind her bad mood? What are others feeling? How did those feelings arise? What sense are you making of those feelings? Sometimes making sense of why others are feeling a certain way help us also in dealing with it. We can go and have a conversation with them. We can make them feel better. We can say that, Mama, I'm there. Papa, I'm there. Don't worry. Things will be fine. Don't just, displace all your anger on me because that's not going to help. Let's just sit and figure out because I want to understand what is going with you also. Why are we always expecting others to come and understand us? Sometimes we should also go and understand what others are also feeling. That is also a very important component of emotional intelligence. Third component is self-management. How do you want to feel? What do you need to do in order to feel that way? I want to study for my exams, but I don't feel like doing it. I am not feeling motivated at all. Now, what can I do to feel motivated? Can I do something about it? Or should I just simply procrastinate as I am doing for days? Can I actually probably just organize my study table? Probably that will help me feel motivated because I will be organized. Can I talk to my friend? Because I have been just locked in the room from the last 14-15 days now, or from the last 3 months. Try to understand how can you manage yourself. And last is relationship management. How do you want others to feel? What do you need to do so that they feel that way? If in case we see our near and dear ones, if we see our friends, feeling terrible, can we really go and lend a ear to them? Lending a ear, just listening to them patiently. That's relationship management. And those components constitute emotional intelligence. If I am working in an office and I'm taking care of my team also, will I be a better manager or will I be a better leader as compared to I'm just imposing my ideas on them and asking them to work? I think they would love to work with me if in case I also have empathy with their side of the story. What if my colleague says that, Garima, I can't work because my mother is COVID positive? I
Hi,
know.
Professor Garima. I'm afraid, I just have to make one announcement. You can continue. But those students, we are getting messages. If you want to leave, session got over at 2:15, you can leave. But if you want to continue with the session, it's up to the students. But those who want to stay back, ask more questions, please stay back. Professor Garima is graciously here even after time. So, but those who want to leave, this is the end of day 2. We'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Thank you so much. Tomorrow the session starts at 10 a.m. We'll start at the same link, students. Have a good day. Have a good lunch. Bye. Over
Thank
to you, Professor
you.
Garima.
Thank you. Okay, I'll just wind up in 5 minutes. Please don't leave. I'll just wind up, okay? So, okay, I'll just share the slides because I am almost on the last slide now. Just a second. Yeah. So this is where I wanted to say that your IQ accounts for 20% of success in life. Your emotional and social intelligence are much greater determinants of success in life. And I just wanted to, conclude the session. I wanted to show a video because I know that we have exceeded the session. So I don't want to take a lot of time because I know we all are having lunch hours. So I don't want to hold all of your back. But this is a quote by Abraham Maslow. It says that if you deliberately plan on being less than you are capable of being, then I warn you that you will be unhappy for the rest of your life. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Don't let anyone tell you that तुम नहीं कर सकते, तुम्हारे उसमें नहीं है, don't let anyone tell you because they themselves don't know what you are capable of. And don't settle for less in life. Always eye for high, always eye for excellence, because that is ultimately the idea behind our existence. That is ultimately why we are here today. I will be very, very happy now to take anyone, if you have any question related to the school that we are starting. We are starting the inaugural batch in August 2021. The admissions are open. Apart from that, in general, if you have any questions related to psychology, I will be
Ma'am,
very happy to answer it. Yes.
uh,
Yes,
ma'am, I want to ask that, like, in somewhat way, the neurology and psychology is related in any term, or they are totally different?
neurology.
Yes.
Neurology, there is an aspect in psychology which is called neuropsychology. So neurology is, are you talking about neurology or numerology?
Neurology.
Neurology. So neurology, there is a sub-discipline in psychology which is called neuropsychology. And in fact, the vice dean of Jindal School of Psychology and Counseling, he's a neuropsychologist. It basically is, it's a study of your mind and your body. So with the help of, attaching some instrument in your brain, we can help you understand your personality. Through brain mapping, lie detection, all of this becomes a part of neuropsychology. So it is a very integral part of psychology. Aniket. Mama, have a question.
Oh, so ma'am, basically we see that the psychology, I think we need to just understand situation of the patient by just talking with them. But in neurology, we can use some other tools like you mentioned, like lie detector and some other instruments. Is that so?
Yes, it is. It
Okay,
is,
thank you,
but
ma'am.
they are not. There are limitations to those tests also, but still they are highly scientific in nature. Uh,
Okay.
and so psychology is a very, very wide discipline. There is a lot of scope within psychology: clinical, counseling, neuropsychology. There is gender psychology. There is socio-cultural psychology, community psychology, uh, industrial or organizational psychology. So there are a lot of scope within the psychology background. So you need to basically probably if in case you want to know more about the career prospects in psychology, you can, I'm just writing my email ID on the chat box. You can drop me a message and I will be very happy to help you.